The guidelines are out there, they're easy to follow, and a lot of care homes are not following them to the guidelines. We need essential carers status in law, so that they have to follow them.
Families with relatives in care homes are fighting for access to their family. We've been following them since January, where at that time they hadn't been able to physically see their family since March 2020, almost 10 months. Since then, some have got in, but they still haven't been able to give them all the love and the care that is needed.
Well, the manager of the care home realised that we needed to shut down early, and she shut down 13th of March.
Right.
On the 23rd of March, we went to see my dad for the last time at lockdown. From then on, we didn't see my dad until 16th of April.
Right.
And we got permission to go to
That's normal.
the window because my dad's brother, his last sibling, had died.
Oh yeah.
So we had to shout and tell him that his last brother had died.
Visits to Gillian's dad looked like this until a visiting pod was set up later. Even with the pod, there was no guarantee that they would get to see their dad. They began campaigning for essential caregiver status and found friends in the #RightsForResidents campaign.
Rights for Residents on social media, Facebook and Twitter, they support getting families back where they should be with the residents and the ones in care homes. They're currently fighting for essential care status.
What is essential care status?
That would mean that one person can go in and hug and help with the feeding and airbrushing, all the things that we used to do, and spend more time with them. Without them, I think a lot of people would have gone off of the edge.
Yeah. Do you feel that care homes are a safe environment for patients at the moment under current circumstances?
Oh, definitely. I mean, my dad's care home, well, it's a care nursing home. It is absolutely amazing. All the residents, including my dad, are well cared for and well dressed, they're well entertained, and that's evident in the Facebook page. During the pandemic there were video timing when we couldn't have window visits.
On the 8th of March, families were allowed one member to go into the care homes and hold the hand of their relatives. This meant that families had to nominate one person, which was an extremely tough decision for most.
We had to make that decision as a family to have a nomination, to nominate one out in his family. At first we made a decision that it was going to be Gillian because Gillian's power of attorney and I am too, but obviously and then previous to that we said that it would be me because everybody felt that I can you word it? That I sort of made up can relate to me.
So I'm sat in my car and my sister's just gone into Saxondale for the LFT test for the first visit to see my dad. She's apprehensive about visiting because she don't know how my dad's going to react to just holding hands and no hug after a year-long wait for this moment. She's upset that I can't go in with her and be in this special moment. But I suppose it's better than nothing. It's just so awful to be sat outside waiting and supporting my sister when all of them is heartbroken inside. Just when I miss my dad. giving him an hug. I can't wait for that day that I can go and give him a hug.
I rang while my sister were in there, and he said to me, "When are you coming?" And I said, I can't come just yet, Dad. I said, "But it won't be long. I love you, Dad." And he said, on top of his voice, "I love you, Gillian." And that were just amazing. This is the most he's strung words together in nearly a year.
What are you doing?
Sat with my dad.
In here?
Yeah. Oh, nurse, is that Dad? No, don't. What are you telling me off for?
You're sitting here.
I know, I can't believe it, Dad.
Lockdown, everything was still normal, and I assured her that if she goes there, she can still see her family, she can still go to a club, she can still have her days out, people can visit her, she still come back to tea. That's what I promised her. So it made it easier for her to stay.
Oh, God.
So managed to get her in, and for the first few weeks everything was fine. Right after 3 or 4 weeks, lockdown happened, and she couldn't see her family anymore. So she's gone from seeing her family, doing her clubs every day, doing something, to being locked into a small home. So she didn't handle it very well, as you can imagine. It was in July, I think it was, where things eased a bit, and then we could do garden visits. And then there was one time she was sat across from us and she was crying. Oh, started crying. Couldn't hug her. And I know with dementia, you decline. You do. My mum wouldn't have been this bad, this quick, if it hadn't been for lockdown. She hadn't been locked away, there's no way.
Will you tell me a bit more about the essential caregiver status? What is it? Like, what does it mean for you if you get it? What can you do, and why do you want it?
So, caregiver status is for a family member. It's for those residents that have a greater need, like my mum's needs are quite great. So it means I can go in more than once a week and longer, so I can spend time with my mum. I can help with her care if she needed it. That would be good for mum, good for me, bonding. And I can sit in the room and I can just spend time with her. And even though my mum might forget immediately after, at that moment in time, I'm there with her.
Going forward, with restrictions easing, what can we expect to see changing in care homes in regards to visiting family members?
Well, I hope it will be easier to see family members. I hope that as restrictions ease, that as long as taking additional steps and covering ourselves in hand sanitizer, as I think we have all become accustomed to over the last year, there will be easier ways of seeing people. Now, as we unlock during the summer, that will especially be more useful, being able to see people in outdoor settings. But this needs to work all year round. The last lockdown in the winter was especially hard for people because they didn't have the possibility of seeing people outside where the risk of transmission of COVID is lower. Now, not every care home has an outdoor space that would work for people. Not everyone in a care home can get to that outdoor space, even if there is one. But we do need to find ways of ensuring that there is increased contact during this period.
But in terms of like essential caregiver status, what would be the negatives of that? What would be a reason for saying no to that?
Well, I think it does make sense to allow essential caregivers back into care homes. when it's safe to do so, when it's all been worked through. I think there's a good case for that, and I think what we need to have is it properly integrated into the unlocking plan. And even if it's integrated properly, it needs to be deployed properly, and that means making sure that the different organisations that provide care have a similar approach to this.